What if the biggest thing holding you back in life isn't failure, rejection, or even lack of opportunity? What if it's comfort? Not the peaceful kind of comfort that restores you, but the quiet, invisible kind that slowly convinces you to stay exactly where you are. Because comfort has a strange power. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you to wait a little longer, prepare a little more, stay a little safer. In this video, we're going to explore the hidden psychology behind comfort, why your mind resists growth, and how the life you want is often waiting just beyond the line you're afraid to cross. Because real change doesn't begin outside of you. It begins the moment you decide that staying the same is no longer safe. The psychology of comfort, growth from the inside out. We all have a line we don't want to cross, a threshold that separates the version of ourselves we've come to know, the one grounded in routine, safety, and predictability, from the version that's waiting on the other side of discomfort. That version is braver, fuller, more alive. But between the two lies the stretch, the uncertainty, the quiet fear, the part that whispers, "Don't do it, stay where it's safe." And yet, we know that nothing meaningful has ever come from staying there. Growth never happens inside the lines we draw to stay small. It happens in the stretch, in the trying, in the decision to act, even with shaking hands. This chapter is not a call to chaos. It's not about making reckless decisions or pretending to be fearless. It's about getting honest about the psychological walls we've built around our lives. Walls that might look like safety, but are really just polished forms of fear. Your brain wants safety, not growth. Let's start with science. You're not broken for resisting change. You're wired for it. The brain's primary job is survival. It doesn't care if you're fulfilled, creative, or growing. It cares that you're alive. This means it favors what's familiar because what's familiar hasn't killed you, yet. But it's not just survival that drives your resistance, it's pain avoidance. Your brain links uncertainty and discomfort to potential danger, even when there is no actual threat. Emotional risk, shame, rejection, failure can activate the same neural circuits as physical pain. That's why stepping outside your comfort zone feels terrifying. Your brain equates discomfort with harm. So the second you consider doing something different, changing careers, ending a relationship, speaking your truth, your brain sounds the alarm. It lights up your amygdala and sends your body into threat mode. You feel fear, doubt, tightness in your chest, and if you're not aware of what's happening, you'll take that fear as a sign to stop. What you lose when you stay too comfortable. We live in a culture obsessed with ease. Make it effortless, make it smooth, make it frictionless. But here's the question, what if the anxiety you feel isn't from doing too much, but from doing too little of what actually matters? The truth is, discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the evidence that you're alive inside your own life. And when you dodge it too long, the cost becomes internal. You stop evolving, you start numbing, you forget how to stretch. When you overstay your welcome and comfort, you start to lose things. Subtly, quietly, but steadily. You lose creativity. Playing it safe dulls your ideas. You stop taking risks. You stay inside your known formats and regurgitate old thinking. Innovation requires friction, and comfort avoids it. You lose confidence. Not because something bad happened, but because nothing happened. You didn't test yourself. You didn't push your edge, so you don't trust yourself to rise. You lose passion. Comfort becomes a loop. Your life gets predictable, flat, like background music you've stopped hearing. You lose self-trust. Every time you avoid something hard, your inner voice weakens. And that inner weakness becomes a ceiling you can't see, but feel. You lose the ability to distinguish boredom from peace. You confuse ease with fulfillment. And eventually, even the good parts of your life begin to feel empty, not because they aren't valuable, but because you stopped being present inside them. Comfort feels like safety, but it's often just quiet self-abandonment, a slow leak of energy, creativity, and courage. It's a beautiful blanket that slowly becomes a blindfold. If your days feel repetitive, comfortable, but quietly too small for who you're becoming, and you know there's a bigger life waiting outside your routines, This is about moving from stagnation to expansion. Don't just think about this, work through it. The free chapter preview in the description gives you real depth and guidance to start moving out of this state. You can download it for free now. Fear does always look like fear. We like to think fear is obvious. Panic attacks, cold sweats, loud doubts, but fear is clever. It doesn't always show up as fear, it shows up as logic, as a responsibility, as gratitude. It says things like, "Now's not the right time. Let me just get a little more prepared. I should be grateful for what I already have. What if I fail and lose everything?" These aren't strategies, they're delay tactics. They're the voice of fear wearing the clothes of wisdom. They sound reasonable, even noble. That's what makes them so powerful. But underneath the mask is your brain trying to avoid emotional pain, disappointment, rejection, failure. And because pain registers as a threat, even thoughtful hesitation can become unconscious protection. Growth is always loud. People often mistake growth for big, sweeping change. New city, new job, big leap. But that's not always what growth looks like. Sometimes growth is quiet. Sometimes it's internal. Sometimes it's saying no when you used to say yes. Sometimes it's making a phone call you've avoided. Sometimes it's admitting that you've outgrown your own story. Growth is changing even when no one's watching. It's small, honest acts that build a new baseline. That turns a whisper into a lifestyle. Saying what you mean. Letting go of something you've outgrown. Asking for help when your pride wants to stay silent. Telling someone, "This isn't working for me anymore." These are the unglamorous choices that shift everything. Because the loudest breakthroughs aren't always shouted, they're felt in the quiet decision to show up differently. To respond, not react. To choose what's aligned, even when it's inconvenient. Growth doesn't wait for the spotlight. It unfolds in the shadows, in the choices no one sees but you feel in your bones. And over time, those small acts don't just shift your life, they reshape your identity. Not all growth makes noise, but all real growth makes change. What if comfort was something you built, not avoided? We need a new definition of comfort, one that's not about staying small, but about building the inner resilience to expand. Comfort should be a reward, not a strategy. It should come after the challenge, not before it. When you start seeing comfort this way, everything shifts. You stop avoiding hard things. You start choosing stretch over stillness. You start carrying your sense of safety with you instead of looking for it outside yourself. You become your own home, your own anchor. That's the real flex. Not having a perfect life, but knowing you can trust yourself to grow in any life. What's one area of your life where comfort might actually be holding you back from the growth you know you're capable of? Drop it in the comments. Your honesty might be exactly what someone else needs to realize they're not alone in that tension between safety and growth. And that sometimes the first step forward begins with simply admitting you're ready for more. Try this, 3 practices to push the edge. Growth doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start small, stay consistent. 1 micro-courage moments. Each night, write down one thing that stretched you. Not huge things, just honest ones. Spoke your truth. Said no. Tried something new. Watch what happens over 30 days. Growth becomes visible. 2, the discomfort calendar. Each week, schedule one action that puts you outside your comfort zone. Send the pitch. Ask for feedback. Go to the event alone. By putting discomfort on your calendar, you take control of it. 3, dialogue with resistance. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing. You don't need a perfect plan. You need consistent practice. You don't need permission. You need honesty. Because discomfort is not your enemy, it's your signal. Your growth doesn't live in the easy. It lives in the effort. So if you feel unsure right now, good. That means you're paying attention. Growth doesn't always feel like momentum. It often feels like friction. But that tension, it's the beginning. Stay with it. Stretch through it. What version of you have you been waiting for? They're not out there. They're built choice by choice on the other side of comfort. and you're already on your way. Remember this: growth rarely feels comfortable in the moment. The stretch, the doubt, the uncertainty, that's often where your next version is quietly being built. You're not meant to stay the same forever. The restlessness you feel isn't a flaw, it's a signal, a reminder that something inside you is ready to evolve. So don't wait until fear disappears. Move with it. Take small steps. Speak the truth. Try the thing that scares you a little. Because the life you're capable of living doesn't exist inside the comfort you protect, it exists just beyond it. This video draws directly from the core teachings in my book, Breaking Comfort Zones. Expand your world beyond fear into transformation and its companion workbook. You'll find them linked in the description. They're designed to work side by side. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe.